Welcome to LittleLee and Rose. My name is Summer Noel, and today I'm going to teach you how to do a full vinyl wrap. Now this is a printable vinyl. This has got an image printed on it from LittleLee and Rose. This may be available on our website soon. We're debating whether we want to carry these, but these went out in our swag bags this last month, and our swaggers have been asking us, how do I apply this if I want to wrap this around my entire cup? So I'm going to give a quick little demonstration. I did show it off in the Facebook group. So I'm going to do a quick demonstration on how to get a full sheet of vinyl all the way around a tumbler. So with this vinyl, you can see the image is absolutely stunning. It is waterproof. We're going to move it here. We're going to move the cup off to the side. First, what we want to do is take our exacto knife, and you want to take along the edge and just get that exacto knife down in there and separate the backing from the image. Oh, there we go. There's just a little tiny lip. There we go. So we got the backing separated from the lip, and we want to just start pulling that part apart just a little bit. Now we're going to put the lid on that so we don't hurt ourselves. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and cut the backing down the middle of the vinyl, just down the back, okay? Now what we have is a piece of vinyl, and the backing has been sliced in half, and we've got a squeegee, we've got a bottle of soap and water, and you guys will see what this little contraption is for in a little bit. So what we're going to now do is take the edges of the vinyl, and we are going to back it away. Let's fold it just to make it easier. Fold it back just a little bit. This is just mainly water. I filled it up with water. I put like half a pump of soap in there. The soap is just to make it nice and slippery. We are going to coat the back of the vinyl with this soapy water mixture that we have. We are also going to coat our cup. This is called the wet method application. I've done a few demonstrations of this. I've done this with a decal demonstration for you guys. I've also done this, like I said, in the Facebook group. This is really great if you're applying like a large decal to like a back of a car or even onto your tumbler. The wet method is fantastic. It helps keep you from getting bubbles, and you can move the image around. So you'll be able to see, I can play with this vinyl if it's not right in the correct spot or where I really, really want it. I'm gonna loop it around, and you can see it's not quite centered. So I am able to kind of play with it and push it around because of that and get it to where it's nice and centered, and then pull it snug, just like that. So now you can see that the line is straight up and down, or pretty darn close. So now what we're going to do is we're going to finish this out by rolling this. We're keeping this side flapped down just like this, okay? We're going to make sure that this still definitely has water on it. We're going to overlap these two, and where they overlap is where we want to cut with our exacto knife. Now this, you want to be really careful because it is very sharp. So you want to make sure you have this nice and pressed down. You can even use your squeegee to make sure you have pressed firmly. Squeegee around. You're going to have a little lump where that fold is, but you're good to go. Just make sure it's nice and firm. And right there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to press real firm into here. And cut away from your body so you don't accidentally end up cutting yourself, and slice and turn around. And the same thing, you're going to put the tip in there, and you're going to try to cut a very straight line and away from your body. And this is very, very similar to how I do my fabric tutorial. And there you go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to peel this back. We're going to remove the excess and the backing. And this should have no backing, so this one should be ready to go. And then bring this up nice and firm and tight, and lay part A down and part B, and there you go. So now you've got your tumbler completely wrapped in that vinyl. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna squeegee out that water. So you're gonna work, this is where you get some, you gotta work some. And this is where it shows the durability and how awesome our vinyl is. Because you can see I'm really working this vinyl and it's not scratching, it's doing just fine. What we're really doing is working that water out from behind that vinyl. And then you can have your cloth ready to absorb that moisture that comes out from the vinyl. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the little trick. There's some water coming out from the edges. Okay, so we do have easy to trim right around the lip, which we're gonna just do here real quick. We're just following the edge of the cup. Then I'm gonna show you a little trick, how to cut and leave a lip so that you can get a good seal on your cup with your epoxy. So we're just right now just following the edge of the tumbler, just taking that off. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we've got this little doohickey, and what we're gonna do is tape, see here we have taped a what is this, you guys? Marker. What we're gonna do is do the same thing. This is a marker, and when I need to mark something that I need to cut in a exact shape, I use the marker. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the marker off, and I'm going to put the X-Acto knife on. So what I'm gonna do is basically make the same thing, and we're gonna put an X-Acto knife on here. Then we're gonna hold the X-Acto knife and we're gonna trim it. So you decide how deep you want it, whether it's 1 popsicle stick, 2 popsicle sticks, or 3, how much space you want above the lip and below the lip. If you want it really, really thin and you just essentially want to just coat this with epoxy and really have no lip, then you could really kind of even go without one, because you can see that the X-Acto knife has its own space. So you could just essentially just hold it and go around the cup like this. So let's go ahead and try that. I'll do it both ways. I'm gonna go ahead and get the X-Acto knife set up, and I will show you guys both methods. All right, so we'll start with just using the X-Acto knife. I have actually replaced this X-Acto knife. You want a really, really, really sharp one, and it was a little bit dull. So we're gonna just start, I don't want a big, deep cut, so we're gonna start with just using just this X-Acto knife. And basically what I'm doing is I'm just leaving the X-Acto knife as it is on the table and rotating it around the cup, and I'm making a perfect even slice. So we'll start right about here and just twist the cup with lots of good pressure. Okay, so you see it's a little bit wobbly, but I will show you how to work with that. That's happening because of the water inside. So what we want to do is get rid of those little pieces. And then work, you can see let's get our towel ready. Put our X-Acto knife away. We are gonna work the moisture out and towel it off. And by doing that, you're making this stick down and it get more adhesive so that it doesn't buckle when you use the X-Acto knife. X-Acto knife back in. And see, we get a much easier slide once we've got it stuck down there pretty good. Coming all the way around, you can still see a little bit of moisture coming out. There's that. Okay, now we're gonna come put the pressure there and finish it off on this side. Buckle just a little bit. And that's why you want a really nice, sharp X-Acto knife. And you can see the beautiful edging there. And so what you'll do at this point, we'll just keep working the moisture out. A lot generally comes from between the crease and around the crease. You can see like some little bubbles there. One little teensy piece. Get it just to be perfect. All right. And you'll just repeat the same thing with the top. Now, if you wanted a deeper space, what you would do is take your popsicle sticks and take your painter's tape or your electrical tape. I have my electrical tape sitting here. And you would tape this just like this to the electrical tape. And you can decide how high up you want that lip. Some people just don't want any epoxy anywhere near where they might drink from it. Everyone is different. So that is completely up to you and what you feel and what you want. So that is how you do a basic vinyl wrap. Again, like I said, you can just wrap this up with electrical tape and do the exact same process we just did with the bottom. Make sure you press away from your seam. So I kind of started in the middle and pushed towards the seam on this side, and then I switched, and then I went in here, and then I pulled towards the seam. And that's where I got it. Because if you start at the seam and try to push from the seam, you're just gonna rip the paper right up and away. So that's really, really important for that one. So there we go. That's an easy peasy little tutorial, guys. I hope you learned something really cool from this. Like I said, water and soap is really, really helpful in this one. Again, it keeps it from bubbling. It keeps it from buckling. And it also makes it to where you can reposition the vinyl as you go. So if it doesn't stick down properly, you can remove it and restick it or slide it or twist it as you need to. It also helps if you're putting it on like, oh, maybe I should have done this one, 20 ounce regular. You can move it and slide it and position it how you'd like. All right, hope you guys learned something new. I will see you guys on the next tutorial. Bye, guys.